Thank you so much, Karima. I'm so happy to see you again once more. Last time we met when we had to deal with providing different certificates to different students, especially 57 students who graduated last time, who got their certificates as compliance officers, as AML KYC compliance officers. And we did this in partnership between CTC and European Business University of Luxembourg. And really, we were really so happy to accomplish this action. And today, you come just back to us to ask how we succeeded to meet this target. So first of all, I would like to present myself. Number one, I will tell you about my educational background. Secondly, my professional background. Then I will come back to your question, how to come to CTC and how to be a student of CTC, and how did I come to this idea? Number one, I have been studying a lot, really, because when I left Rwanda, my first idea was to go to school. So I knew the importance. You know, in Rwanda, our parents, they have been insisting on going to school. For every kid, they were convinced that 100% that we had to go to school to make studies till the top. This is what I did. So I started in Rwanda in secondary school, at the school of Birambo. I did the law, and after I went to Congo, and in spite of so many problems, I went to university there. But I didn't at UCB, Catholic University of Bukavu. Then after I went to Cameroon, where I did English Modern Literature and also law at the same time. Then I went to Belgium, where I did law at University of Antwerp. Also, I have a bachelor at University of Antwerp, and also I have a master degree in political sciences. Then also a master degree. One part I did in Belgium, another part in Germany, where I did European law in using German language. Then I also end by having also a master degree in management and finances at University of Louvain-la-Neuve, what we call Leuven School of Management. And I had also opportunity to go to United States of America, where I was at Harvard University. I had a certificate in leadership and the management as well. Also, I have different certificates in ML and compliance. In various, we had different, where have been, especially in Luxembourg, at the House of Training, you know, have different schools where they provide different kind of certificates. So why did I do those studies? It's because I was believing, mostly when I came to Belgium, when I did, for instance, political sciences, after finishing, it was very hard to get a job. Then I said, maybe if I do this, maybe I'll get a job. But after ending my studies, I knew it was not necessarily because I didn't do studies. It's just there was another problem which I didn't know, why African people could not get jobs in Belgium or elsewhere. So I thought, when I even finished my I did the end paper of my studies in management, I described the failure of African people to be integrated in European companies. And also, I have been discussing with different people. I made a research, a survey in different, with different people, especially from Rwanda, to understand why they could not be integrated in European business. And most people were saying, "Oh, I lost my degree in war." Another one, I say, "I don't speak Dutch." Another one, I was saying, "I'm too old." Another one, but at the end, I found some people who were young, skilled, knowing all those languages spoken in Europe, yet they could not be hired anywhere. So, and then I was asking, I met Louis Michel, he was a leader at that time, and I asked him, is it possible, like, to get a job like here? I spoke about my studies, and he said, maybe if it is not possible to get a job, maybe you can build up your personal company. Then the idea came from there. Then I was, when I joined the financial sector, then I say I have been working for a long time in financial industry, especially in Luxembourg. In Luxembourg, it was clear only your competences were valued. Not only, they don't look at your origin. So when I got all those skills and the competencies in different banks, especially private banking, I have been working in corporate banking and for different investment firms, and also because I have been working as a consultant in financial sector, so I covered quite every kind of entity. In my role as compliance officer or AML KYC analyst. Then after I realized that I have been working in more than 10 banks, and so I saw that there is a kind of open door, which is, and there are so many jobs in this sector, especially as compliance officer. Then I said, and especially they are good paid jobs. Then I said, this is maybe information that I don't even have a right to hide. I have it to tell other people who have been working everywhere in and not valuable jobs. Maybe they can be interested. So we tried. I was talking like this, but nobody could understand until I said, maybe we can create a structure where everybody can be oriented. This is how I came to the idea to create CTC, Career Trust Consulting. And we trained the first people, and they got jobs. Then after we continued until we when the European Business University of Luxembourg, they detected that we had good results in terms. Then they contacted me. They came to discuss with me, and then I was convincing them. You see, you create when your students are graduated, they don't get jobs immediately. So I said, maybe if we collaborate, then I showed that only we provide the trainings in compliance, and our students are only after 3 months, they get jobs. So then, yet when we started, we didn't have accredited certificates. That was our problem. But they had also a problem of creating students. Sometimes universities, sometimes they create good students, but we create professionals. As I said, as we were making a brainstorming with the university, I convinced them that we could help them when collaborate together. I showed them that by CTC, with our experience, only after 3 months, we could help people to get jobs. Our students were getting jobs immediately, only after 3 months. And I was showing them, after 4-5 years, their students, when they complete their cycle of studies, they could not get jobs. And also, I showed them that compliance was very important today, not only for Europe, but also for Africa. Today, especially if you are not compliant as a bank, the penalty is extremely high. Recently, BNP Paribas has been sanctioned. Everybody saw that in newspaper. So we focus on compliance in the financial sector, not only to push people to get jobs, which is the case anyway, because there are always new regulations, new laws, and there are also different European AML directives, like the 4th, 5th, 6th AML directives, which came out. Whenever there is a new regulation, a new law, there are always new jobs. And so in Africa, people needed to understand that the banks and all the financial institutions needed to be compliant with those regulations, especially like in Rwanda, there is a National Bank of Rwanda, which is the financial regulator, and all banks needed to be compliant by implementing what the regulator says. And so we push people to be aware of what is happening in the financial sector, but also to train our students accordingly. And we have a very competent trainers. And my first idea was to make my former managers to come to join the CTC as trainers. So they are doing a very nice job. And recently we have been many students who have been graduated, even recently they have been hired by different banks here in Europe. And we are training them. Every training is happening online. We don't even take too much time from people, because people need to understand that time is one important resource as well as money. And they even say time is money. So we don't steal time from people. We are making sure that we focus on what people need in terms of skills. And we only provide this training once per week, only on Wednesdays, only from 7 to 9 p.m. So we have a theoretical framework and practical framework of compliance and AML queries. And we make sure that it is happening in the night once per week. And we, at the end, there is a final exam which is organized after 3 months, which is happening physically and face to face. And the people, we always go to university, to European Business University of Luxembourg, where people come to campus, and this is where they perform their exam under control of our trainers. So last time I saw them, and this year we introduced we saw that to work in the financial sector, people needed to be serious and to be also not only to develop this kind of self-confidence. And we hired somebody from Tiffany, you saw her. She's from China. She trained people to be self-confident. It means if you're coming from another sector, you need to be coached so that you can be confident that you will make it. Otherwise, if you don't, if you are not, we saw that people who were not self-confident from the beginning, they were not even self-confident when they were looking for jobs. They were still thinking that they want to make it. But this training that in personal development, we added to our training, financial trainings, we saw that it is helping people, and many people subscribed. So to subscribe to these trainings, people need to go to our website for Career Trust Consulting and just subscribe. And we normally these trainings, which are extremely costly. It's about above 2,000 euros, but we reduced the price to 400 something, so that everybody can also fit in. Because we have also some people who are being trained, since there are trainings which are happening online. We are training also some people from Rwanda, from everywhere, from Burundi, from Ivory Coast, from Nigeria. So all those people are following our trainings at distance, and there's no problem. And at the end, last time we organized also exams in Rwanda, especially, and we had a correspondent who was controlling how exam was going, and also we asked the people from Burundi to join people in Kigali to come to perform exam there, and it happened so well, and those people got their certificate. And I must also insist that some people maybe they didn't have a chance to go to university or to have a nice degrees, and this is kind of innovation that we brought. We have only with this partnership with the university, we allowed people who have been frustrated not to have been at university because maybe the parents didn't have money at that time. And we saw the majority of the people really very happy when they were graduated, having a certificate signed by the doctors from a university, and they were really very happy. This is helpful for people to develop this kind of self-confidence. And what I can suggest is like we don't only contribute to clean the financial sector against these financial crimes, but we also help people to get jobs. When you get a job, it means a lot for the family to build up their families, and also to contribute to awareness that compliance is important for the society. Because if you have people who are contributing to the money laundering, and you are killing not only the economy, but and also there's a money laundering and fighting against terrorism. Then in banks we control the origin of money, but we also control what the money goes to do. I mean, how you utilize your money, how you use your money. And so we make sure that the origin of money is not in a criminal zone, and we control that the money is not going to do something wrong. This is how we do transaction monitoring, and also to make KYC requirements control. And at the end, we train people so well that they develop this kind of awareness, and also we saw that it has really a big impact on the society, and everybody is now we have so many people, a big demand in because the CTC is existing since only 3 years, and we saw that the evolution is really high, and the way there is the more and more we get more demand, and we can only encourage people to join the CTC. And so the next session will start in September, especially on the 13th of September 2023. So now the sessions are opened. Now you can subscribe until, so the deadline is until the end of August, so people can subscribe. So, and on the 9th of December, people will perform exam. And so I think what I can say, I can only thank ADA through Karima, who came to see us, so that we can also provide more explanations and more clarifications about how CTC functions. And so thank you, Karima, for coming to us, and we hope this can help. And last and not least, we want really the people who are still doubtful about finances and banks has been mystified as something which is limited to some people. We by CTC, we say everybody is welcome. As long as you have you are convinced that you have a natural capacity of doing something, whatever your background, you can do what you like. There's nothing which can limit anybody to do what you feel you are good at. But also by checking in within yourself, you can say, okay, maybe I can try. Just try and see. That's all I can say. Thank you so much.